What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And honestly, it's been way too long since I've uploaded. It's going on like, I don't even know, just like 4 weeks or something like that. Or I don't even know, just some ridiculous amount of time, like 3 weeks. And I miss uploading. I literally think about it every day. Like, it sucks not uploading, honestly. And it's just due to lack of ideas or the fact that it's now December and it's cold outside. This is like one of the last like 40-degree days that we're gonna have. So I figured I would come out here and make the best of it and make a quick video for you guys. Do a little backstory on a couple things and yeah. So basically, this video is gonna be why I bought my 370Z. And honestly, there's really not a straight up answer to that. There's a lot of whole bunch of little different things that I kind of prefer this car over something like a Miata or anything along those lines. One of the biggest things I loved about my Miatas was the drivability and whatnot of them, and that's kind of what everybody preaches about the Miatas. If anybody have ever, well, of course, probably a lot of you on this channel own a Miata or have just heard about them in general. Everyone preaches how well they drive, not exactly of how fast they are, whatnot like that, just how well they can corner and everything like that. And it is true, it is pretty unmatched. That not really any other car kind of feels like that, at least not for that price range or not for that type of enjoyment. It's really unmatched, truly. But for me, there was like a few other things on top of that was just like kind of made me want to change it up. So as you can see, we're clearly starting in the interior. Basically one of the big reasons why I wanted to upgrade just from a Miata, if you want to call it, a lot of people won't call this much of an upgrade, but yeah, I guess it's all just personal preference. It's kind of just a whole bunch of little things. As you guys might have known, my red car was a 2003, my black car was a 2004. Personally for me, one of the biggest reasons was I dailied the black car, and as much as I realize now that wasn't a good idea. Dailing an older car like that, especially a Miata, is just kind of a headache. It kind of like, you know, I grew tired of the car fairly quickly, and everything just kind of ended up feeling old. Like, it just all feels like I wanted something a little newer. Like, I wanted something with a little bit newer of a body style, I wanted something with a little bit nicer or newer interior, a little bit more like not exactly luxurious, because this isn't a luxury car or nothing like that, and there isn't like, I don't have nav or anything like that, so I don't have like all the special, well, I have my Apple CarPlay now, but you know what I mean. So I just wanted something that felt a little newer, was the first thing. And coming straight to the interior, I absolutely love the way this thing looks and feels. The steering wheel feels absolutely fantastic when going through the corners. Perforated leather on this John, right where your hands go. Down to the shifter, feels so good. Like, the shifts in between gears, honestly, for a stock shifter, feels extremely short, and it just feels so great. The Miata shifter felt very, very good too, and it's just a little bit, it just feels a little bit more sloppy, but also both of those cars had older or more miles on them. They were older and stuff like that, so it is bound to happen, of course. Other stuff when it comes to do with the interior, I just love the extra storage that you get, the little bit of extra room that you have with a connected trunk, with the little storage compartments actually full, like a lot more room than just shoving stuff behind the seat in the Miata. You have your glove compartment, you have this little box up here, which is absolutely fantastic. Usable cup holders in this thing. I'm a big cup holder dude. I love my cup holders. Don't even like, I just bring water bottles, so I shoved them behind the seats in the Miata, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but I definitely like my cup holders. I absolutely love how the cluster moves with the steering wheel, so you never end up blocking any of your gauges or anything like that. You can always see it at all times, which is super cool. I actually really do like that. I didn't know it did that at first until I actually got this car. Another really big thing that I actually do really enjoy about this car is the potential the interior has. For like a Miata or something like that, I just feel like everything looks so out of place when you start to upgrade the interior. You put seats in it, you put like, some people do carbon fiber. I don't necessarily want to do carbon fiber dash, but some people do carbon fiber stuff like here and there. And I feel like it just all looks so out of place. Like gauges and stuff look so out of place. Like the interior just feels, I know like this is again personal like preference on this kind of stuff, but I don't know, to me it just kind of feels out of place. And in a car like this, and an updated car already has gauges in it, has like an updated interior ish. I know that they also keep this interior until they just stopped making the 370Z, but the updated interior kind of just like works more with throwing like a hydro handle in here, or throwing like just updated parts like the head unit. That's the thing, like the head unit, to me, I don't think it looked just so out of place in the black car or in the red car, and it looks way better in here in my opinion. Other than that, we're basically done with the interior. I mean, if stock right now, there's not too much I can say about it. I love how good everything feels. Nothing's rattling or nothing yet for 2009. It's pretty nice. All the clips and everything feel super nice, so it's just a good upgrade from all plastic stuff from 2003 and 4. So yeah. Mostly what made me fall in love with this car was my homie. My homie Joe. You guys might have seen his car on the channel. I've also mentioned him in the previous video where I actually picked, one of my previous videos where I actually picked this thing up. I mentioned him. He has a 2010 370Z Nismo that he brought up here from Virginia. But yeah, he originally got me into cars a lot, and the first ever car I really enjoyed, or really realized that cars aren't just cars that just take you from point A to point B, like you can actually have fun with these things, was the 350Z. And like that was just way back in the day. He just had me watching videos of just cars, and he was always a Nissan fan. He's always been a big Nissan fan. But he brought that thing up here, and I was like, damn, maybe I have just been looking at the wrong cars this whole time. Because a lot of people talk shit about these cars. I don't really get it. These things honestly feel fantastic the way they drive and the way they handle for stock. The stock suspension is very surprising. The way it loads itself up on the rear, we're getting back on power. It's a very different feeling car, but it feels really good. It feels pretty similar to a Miata, to be honest, like just the way the steering is, and the way, like, honestly, how you can kind of just throw the car around to an extent. Of course it does weigh a little bit more, and it makes a little bit more power, so you got to be a bit more careful with how you can just throw the car into corners. The Miata, you can literally throw it into a corner, like you just go as fast as you want and turn basically, and it'll turn again to an extent, and it just feels fantastic. I was really impressed, and still am, by all of these VQs and the 370Z that my homie brought up here at Killcare and whatnot, and just at drift events in general. Like literally anywhere you look, in America at least, anywhere you look at drift events, you just see VQ on VQ, 350 on G37, on G35, on 370. It's just like a whole bunch of VQs. And it's just like started to make me realize, I'm like, there's no way these things are anywhere near as shit as people are talking on them. Like it's not possible. Now I'm not gonna go ahead and say which car I think is 100% better than the other one. I haven't owned this car for long enough. I haven't started modifying it and doing what I really enjoy doing with cars, and that's driving them. Well, I have been driving it, but driving them modified. I want to take this thing to drift events. I want to take this thing to track days. Now, well, all I have is a Z at the moment, but I'm gonna plan to just get a straight up daily and not have something like that, at least for the time being, and actually be able to take it wherever I need it to or anything like that. So I don't have to be scared about taking this thing to the track, because that's not what I want. I want this thing to be a race car. So I guess that kind of leads me into the plans I have for this car. As of currently, I plan to make it like a streetable drift car. Just like a full interior. I just want like a basic angle kit and hydro, of course, coilovers and stuff like that. Just something that I can drive on the street if I want to, and take to the track if I want to. That's just comfortable for a while. Eventually, I would like to turn it into a full race car, which hopefully you guys will actually get to see down the road. Like a full stripped interior, cage, like full angle kit, just crazy shit. Like I would love to turn this car into a race car, like I've always wanted. So like I said, it's getting cold, and with that comes snow, and with snow comes salt. It's already snowed a couple times, not very much at all, but it snowed a couple times here in Ohio, or at least in my area. And they've salted the roads. I don't know if it's exactly salt or whatever they call it before salt, but it's salt, basically. And I don't like that. And if you guys live in the snow and you like cars, you don't like that shit. The most important thing you can do is clean the shit out of the bottom of your car. Unfortunately, I don't have a pressure washer or anything like that. Just never bought one. But a hose will do just fine. Just take it and blast the shit out of your undercarriage every chance you can if you drive it in the snow. I've already cleaned it once since it snowed once, and it snowed again, and I've driven it multiple times since they put salt on the road, or whatever they call it. So I'm gonna do this again, just because I like my cars clean. Now, preferably, you'd want to just not drive your car in the winter, literally at all. But for a lot of people's cases, like my own, it's unfortunately not possible. It might be your only car that you have at the moment, or your only car that you have in general. And just do yourself a favor and keep it as clean as possible. And if you have really clean shit and you're not doing yourself a favor and cleaning your cars off, like the undercarriage and whatnot, what the hell are you doing? You have a brand new car and you ain't cleaning it like this? You got something wrong with your head, bro. Another really cool thing, or another really nice thing I should say, about this car is the OEM and aftermarket support. And it's kind of funny how you mention like OEM support for it, but as some of you like may know or may not be able to tell or something like that, this is a base model. I don't have sport mode or anything like that, so my car didn't come with the big brakes. It didn't come with sport mode, and that's basically it. Well, so out of factory, it's really nice that you can straight up upgrade to, they're called Akebono big brakes from factory, which I think are 6-piston fronts, 4-piston rears, I'm pretty sure, like, or something like that, which is really cool. I'm gonna eventually be doing that. Also, with just all their OEM like Nismo parts, like you can upgrade to any of the other Nismo parts from the V1 Nismo or V2 Nismo series cars, and a lot of it's still available to this day. Like you can get a V1 Nismo kit. It is a little expensive, but that's what I'm gonna be doing. Probably just copying a V1 Nismo kit, just because in my opinion it's the best looking kit, and I don't really want to deal with fiberglass and stuff like that. So that's a big consideration I take. I'm a big OEM plus look kind of guy, or OEM plus, like as you guys saw the Miatas, they both had kits on them and they were both OEM kits, and that's what I like. I like the OEM look, I like the OEM fit, not having to mess with fiberglass and stuff like that. So that's a big thing I take into consideration. And on top of all that, the aftermarket support on this car is insane. Like this car has been released since 2009 to, I'm pretty sure it was 2021. So a long ass time. And the amount of parts that you can find for Z's are absolutely insane. Same with Miatas, you got plenty of parts too. But it's just wild, the amount of different angle kits, body kits, superchargers, turbos, literally anything you can get, exhaust for this car. Like, there's so many different options. Now, since we basically talked about everything that I love to do with the internal aspect of it, or kind of why I wanted the upgrade to begin with, we'll go ahead and just mention a few of the little external things that I really enjoy about this car. First and foremost, it's just gonna be how simply the way it looks. And like, of course that's pretty obvious. Like, you're not gonna wanna buy a car that you don't think looks good, right? If you can. But I'm talking the body lines down to the way the headlights split on the fender, just like the aggressive body lines on the hood and fender. The super wide rear quarters that you can fit 11, almost 11 wides from factory. I think they come, the Nismo wheels are 10.5s from factory. You can literally fit 11, 12 wides on a factory body. That's fucking sick. Overall, I'm extremely excited about this car. I'm extremely excited about getting to build it and everything like that. I just feel like it's like almost a perfect platform for me. The fact that it's how clean it is and everything like that. Well, first and foremost, I wanted something with just more power. I wanted some sort of turbo, inline 4 or V6 or V8, anything along those matters. I just wanted something with a little more pep in it, not a Miata that makes 100 horsepower. Not saying that Miatas are bad, because I still love Miatas. I just wanted something with a little more, you know, a little more oomph in it. And yeah, power isn't necessarily everything when it comes to people's thoughts on cars and whatnot. But I kind of just wanted something with a little more to it. Something I have a little more fun on in straight lines, because you're not always on curvy roads. You're not always being able to go 100 mile an hour around turns and stuff. You get stuck behind mad people. And if I want to pass those people, I can do it a lot easier now. I just downshift once and then I put my foot to the floor and I'm gone. It's just a lot easier. The 3.7, honestly, the VQ sound has grown a lot on me. As I was mentioning before, as you guys know, the car market is absolutely fucking insane right now. I will go and say, about 3 years ago, I went ahead and bought the red car for $3,600. I then went and bought the black car for about the exact same at $3,700. I over doubled my money on both of those, selling those today. Well, not today, but within the past recent times, I sold the red car at just over $8,000, or I sold it at $8,000, and I sold the black car at $7,000, which led me with $15,000 just from the Miatas, and that's not including the parts I took off and sold separately and whatnot. So it left me in a pretty good spot. I thought about getting a G37 just because I wanted a VQ. I wanted something a little more capable of going on a race, or being a race car, going on a racetrack. And well, this thing popped up at the perfect time, because I was looking to spend around 10 to 12, and I was easily willing to spend 12 on like a really nice car, really nice G, and this thing popped up. Other than that, I'm pretty sure I've talked about basically everything I wanted to talk about today. The reasoning why I wanted a 370Z, why I wanted to get out of the Miatas and whatnot. There's really not too much to it. It's kind of just wanted an upgrade mostly, and I love the overall feel of the car. I think it feels fantastic. I think it feels like a big Miata. I just got to get a little more used to it. Been driving it for almost 3 months now, surprisingly. I got this thing on the 12th of September, so we're coming up on 3 months. And I couldn't be happier with it, to be honest. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below. Hope you guys are excited for the Z as much as I am. Hope you guys are excited to see it get built and what it turns into. If you do, please check out the other videos. Please just stick around on the channel and just see what's to come. Sorry for not uploading. We'll be back on the grind.